Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Australians. They're not here for the tourism.
Written and directed by Joe Bauer, starring Rita Artman, Doug Hatch, Tamara McLaughlin, Lauren Silver, and Paul Adams. Australians is about a group of people in Australia that are under attack by aliens. Go figure. So what do we like?
This is a 111-minute film, and I was laughing for at least 100 minutes.
It's definitely one of the funniest films that I've seen in a very long time, and everybody involved was like a brilliant actor. Like, they all nailed their roles, and they all had their own like quirks. Just everybody had a different way of delivering their comedy, and it was fantastic.
It was cleverly written, like especially Keith's character, and his delivery was perfect.
Hey, you and Andy have been friends since primary school.
6th grade, yeah.
Andy may have mentioned that I was a very successful boxer in my youth. 6 consecutive titles over a period of 14 years.
So they weren't consecutive at all?
Yeah, they used to call me Keith. Cheap shot, Flynn.
All these characters just knew exactly how to say the lines and get the joke right across.
Being that this film is a horror comedy, sci-fi comedy, it was an adventure from beginning to end. There's always something crazy happening, and they constantly one-up themselves. And thankfully, because when you get into this movie, it starts off really strong and you're just hoping it doesn't die down. And it doesn't.
This is almost a 2-hour film, and the fact that we want more and we're really engaged, that's very impressive for a sci-fi horror comedy.
What's also impressive is all of the cinematography. This was a very ambitious film. They had really great compositing. They chose their shot types well. They had some really cool camera moves, and it seems like an old sci-fi film from the lighting, like crazy colors. Just technically, this movie looked beautiful. This is probably the best looking film that we've seen from Midnight Releasing, actually.
There are moments where you're looking at the aliens and you're thinking, is it real or is it just CG? They did a great job interacting and having it feel like they were in the environment.
Part of that is the fantastic lighting on the actual 3D models, and it matched the focus perfectly. It was absolutely shocking to see from an indie release.
I want to go back to the characters here. We did talk about Keith and how hilarious he was, but he's just not the standout. We've got Elliot, who I feel is like the most likable character just because of how innocent and pure he is.
Why don't you go and talk to Cam over there?
Cam? But she's a girl.
Well spotted.
He's so worried, he's so nervous, but he's also like the fun, geeky guy.
And Andy was a really great character as well. She was a badass, and everyone thought she was crazy because she believed in aliens, so
Aliens exist.
her character was basically like, look, like I told you they'd come 17 years later. So she was kind of like running the show. We had Cam, she was shooting a documentary on indie bands at first, and she was just fed up with it. I don't think she was doing a great job, because she was holding the camera like a dickhead. Thankfully, she got some stuff to shoot, and she was good. She was innocent too, I guess, right?
Even some of the gags in this, they didn't overplay themselves. Keith puking on Cam.
Oh my god, that was absolutely hilarious.
As long as you keep the wound clean so it doesn't get infected.
But the one gag that you completely thought was going to be overdone would have to be John's character. Now here is a person who is pretending to be an alien and acting so out of place, and as the audience, we know he's the alien.
Because he's green, he's painted green.
And his facial reactions, like the jaw to the side and how he's walking, like, it's just pure comedy gold.
And we also had some great performances from the people who played the aunt and uncle, or the parents of the movie. I thought the dad was hilarious. He was in really weird situations, like putting Nutella on like alien bites, and he had some really, really strong moments towards the end of the film, which we won't spoil. You gotta see it. He's awesome. Now generally we'd go on to our dislikes, but we've spoken, and we don't have any dislikes, so we're gonna go right on to our final thoughts and ratings.
There's no surprise here. Australians is a great film. You're gonna laugh your ass off. You're gonna love how well this was shot and how good each character is. This was almost 2 hours of pure enjoyment, which is really rare these days, and for parodies and satires of this genre, they definitely nailed it. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 5 rad dads out of 5.
This is easily one of the best films I've seen all year. It was absolutely hysterical. We were laughing out loud. Yeah, not just like putting it at the end of most of our sentences on Facebook. We were sitting on the couch howling at this movie because it was so goddamn funny. From the opening shot, you're like, damn, that's a nice looking film. And that's a great start. It is a longer movie, but it's enjoyable from beginning to end. All of the characters are extremely likable, and they all have their different qualities that make each of their scenes unique and hilarious. We highly recommend this movie, and you should definitely check it out. I have to give this 5 fucking bicyclists out of 5. As always, thank you for watching. Like this video, but more importantly, buy this movie. You're gonna have an absolute blast with it. There are links in the description where you can find it. If you guys enjoyed this review, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything here from Bloodbath & Beyond. And this isn't a sponsor or anything, I just felt I should talk about this. Dusty Boots Hard Root Beer, fucking primo. It's a great beverage to pair with Australians.